And what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the sixth edition of the Deep Dive podcast. I'm your host, Riley Bymaster, along with my fellow co-hosts, Matt Foreman and Coach Burt. What up, fellas?
Just doing some laundry.
Doing some laundry. Is that Melissa's nickname?
No, she doesn't do my laundry. I don't let her.
I'm pretty good, but Matt just made it aware to us that he's on his last pair of shorts and shirt.
No, I have other ones. These are just not shirts I typically wear.
Is that a size small? Looks a little.
No, it's definitely
tight.
For those of you who don't get to see, he's rocking a schmedium right now.
Yes, this is a big schmedium. Yep, big schmedium.
Well, so tonight we are going to be discussing, all cheap players, guys who are fringe waiver wire, end of the bench, end of the roster guys. We're talking about buys for the 2019 season. We are officially halfway through the 2018 season, flying by. It's going quicker than I'd like it to. But for some of my teams, that means I'm out. I'm already looking towards next season. And you know what? I'm scouring other people's rosters and waiver wires to see guys who I think could potentially make an impact next year. So let's jump right in. Brett, we're going to start with running back. Give us your first deep dive player for 2019.
My first deep dive player for 2019 is definitely hanging out on somebody's actually either in the taxi squad probably or on IR. But Chris Warren III, running back for Oakland. Listen, Marshawn's not going to come back next year, I don't think.
No, he's not.
Doug Martin.
Trash.
Absolute garbage. Jalen Richard, passing down back. And Washington, also trash. Warren popped in preseason in every single game, including against the starters. Gruden was raving about him. He does everything the way Gruden wants to play football, lowering the pads, running through somebody. I just think – I don't know who else they're going to go to there. Maybe they draft somebody, but for what you could get Warren for, I think it's a good deal.
I think they have too many holes elsewhere to kind of address the need early, but we've seen before with Kamara and Hunt, you don't need to draft a guy high, but they still have Richard. They still have is it DeAndre Washington or Dwayne Washington? I get those two confused because they both suck. So
DeAndre,
I thought it was DeAndre.
He's 5'7", 200.
Yeah, so it's a worse version of Richard.
Yeah, but I mean they're gonna do something else there, but I mean they're probably gonna be bad again next year too.
I'm not saying they won't do something else there, but for how he looked in preseason and everything that came out of camp, which was all positive, he's lurking on somebody's practice squad or IR, and somebody doesn't really care that much about him.
Yeah, I mean, I think for his cost aspect, I think he's a good buy because I mean, you're not going to get much. You're not going to get much cheaper than that. Like you can probably get him for a fourth.
I was going to say a max of a fourth. I would bet.
So the deep dive question, Brett, would you give a third?
I probably would not give a third.
Then you're not fully committed to Chris Warren.
Listen, before I'm committed to Chris Warren, I need to know that Chris Warren's committed to me.
That's the best thing that, I thought you were going to say Chris Warren.
I think that's the best line you've ever said on this podcast.
It's one of the best things he's ever said. The most insightful statements from Brett ever.
No, he could be called Brett for that statement. That statement.
Okay, I'm sorry, Brett.
I'm back.
He's back. Just give him 10, 15 minutes. He'll lose it again.
I'll say something dumb.
So, I mean, I like the Colin Warren, Doug Martin, Marshawn Lynch. Their days are gone. So, yeah, if you can get them for a fourth, I'm all about it. Matt, your turn.
We already know who it is, so we'll just talk about him now. I think your buy window is closing quickly.
Wait, is it actually?
Oh, it's Josh Adams.
Oh shit. Okay.
No, it's Josh Adams.
The text like 4 hours ago when we got the topic that we weren't allowed to talk about Josh Adams.
No, it's Josh Adams. It's always Josh Adams.
See, the thing now, I don't know if you can get him for
No, but you can because he's on a bye this week, so people are gonna forget. He's on a bye this week.
People aren't going to forget in like 7 or 8 days.
He only rushed for 70 yards on 9. He only rushed for 71 yards on 9 carries. I mean,
Hey, you weren't even watching.
you're right because it was too early and I was hungover.
Fair.
I sent Matt, for all those listening, all 10 of you, I sent Matt a text that Adams was up to like 67 yards, and Matt said that if he went over 100, he would buy a jersey immediately.
Oh, that was gonna happen. I was gonna buy one of the black jerseys because those black Eagles jerseys are sick. But anyways,
You know what?
no,
Regardless, I think you should do that.
I'm thinking about it. I might put it on the wife's Christmas list. I'm thinking about it. Anyways, back to the matter at hand. He's a serious buy, and to answer your question, yes, I would pay a third right now. I would pay a third for Josh Adams.
I think you're going to have to pay more than that, though.
Yeah, I think you are at this point now. You should have bought him 8 weeks ago when I told you to buy him. So, I mean, if you missed out, sucks
when
to
me
suck.
and Matt were literally tweeting about him every week.
First of all, I am the captain of the Josh Adams bandwagon.
I'm not
He
denying
is.
that, but every time you tweet, I do also have to chime in and tweet back of my.
Brett, you're in
What are
the
you, my
back of the
what are you,
bus.
my hype man?
You're in the back of the bus. Matt is driving.
I'm like,
He was driving this ship all by himself.
you're that guy in the memes where the guy goes, psych, and I'm all the guys in the back going, oh, that's me.
And Bert is back. Who had
Thanks for
3
that.
minutes?
Thanks for that visual meme there.
Who had
Congrats.
3 minutes?
It was perfect. I don't know. The screen actually changed there. It was the meme.
But anyways, back
gosh.
to actual
So
matter.
back to Adams.
Back to Josh Adams. I mean, he's gonna get more run. The only thing I'm scared about Josh Adams is they're going to get some tough defenses down the road coming up as well too. I don't know who they're playing offhand. I don't have the Eagles schedule memorized, but I remember I was looking through it. I was looking through it at work today. I was working real hard today. I was looking through it, and he had some tough matchups coming ahead. But
Twice,
they're going to give him looks, and I think the Eagles are going to have a more positive game scripts. I think they're going to get better as the season go on. Obviously, they just got Golden Tate, so that's obviously going to help as well too. So Clement is just, I don't know. He has the talent, and I think Adams is better than Clement. The only thing that scares me is Smallwood still because he's gonna play third down. Unless Darren Sproles ever comes back, then Darren Sproles is gonna get some work too. But
you know the contract details on Clement and Smallwood. I would like to know exactly where they're at in their
Well,
contract.
Smallwood came out.
second-year players,
They both are.
yes,
Okay.
I believe so.
I'm not worried
Smallwood
about
may be a third-year player.
I'm not worried about anybody else because they did not make a move at the deadline for
Exactly.
a running back.
Exactly. Did not make a move, and it
think
came out. I remember the only reason I found out that Josh Adams might get more run this week is because of Riley. He sent a thing over to me from like some fantasy wire or some website that no one talks about that was like Josh Adams make it more action, and guess what happened? Josh Adams led the team in carries.
Yeah, and I just think it's very telling that they did not go get LaShawn McCoy for a fifth or
No, because the Buffalo wanted a third for him. I mean, why do you
That's-
want a third for a guy who you probably should cut after the end of the year because you owe him $9 million next year?
Contrary, the talk here was that people were offering thirds. I hate my team, and they wanted like a second.
Yeah, let's go trade a second for a 29-year-old running back. That sounds great.
I'd have gladly taken a third with the season we're about to have, but you know,
Yeah, you mean starting back to Peterman time?
don't get me started. This is not my time to swallow in self-pity.
All right. Adams is good. Real quick, Matt, would you pay a second? A late second.
No.
I think you'd do it.
I have him pretty much everywhere except for the one team that you have him on.
Not talking about your shares because I know you have them everywhere.
I know you'd do it.
I don't know if I would do it. I'd probably do 2/3, but I don't think I'd do I don't think I'd do a late second.
I think I agree.
You know what? I would do a late second. Next year's running back class is not good.
Ooh. Okay. There you have it. Matt's giving a late second for Josh
That's a
Adams.
bold
Hopefully he picks it up. And
I mean, how much better is David Montgomery than Josh Adams?
Montgomery hasn't looked great this year.
No. I mean, what other running back is coming out next year? I mean, Rodney Anderson's going
Miles
to
Sanders.
No, he's not. He's not coming. He's staying another year.
What?
Guaranteed.
Who says
bet
that? Nah.
I'll bet you $50 he stays.
You don't like Gaskin?
No, I don't like asking.
No, I don't like Gaskins either. He's too
He's not-
small.
I don't think he's quick enough. I mean, he's quick, but he's not like excellent three cone time.
What about Love?
Rest in peace, three cone. Yeah, I mean, I'm holding out for Miles Sanders. I think he's going to be good. I love Damian Harris, but he's going to be a top 3 running back. So
Justice Hill.
I haven't watched Hill.
I like Justice Hill.
I've watched him a little bit, but I haven't watched him.
What about your boy Mike Weber Jr.?
I like him. The production not really there this year. I don't know. We'll see. If he tests well, then yes, but we'll see. I mean, it's early. All these guys may not declare. We'll find out. 2020 looks damn good.
So indubitably.
Up on your 2020 picks. Anyways, no more Josh Adams talk, but
not this episode. Not this episode. By the way, I do want to point it out here, Riley, that are both of our deep stash guys. One of them has panned out, looks like so far, and one of them has like 6 career catches.
Who are we talking about?
NB.
He's hurt right now. Give him time. If not, then whatever. It was worth a shot. He was a 7th round pick. All right.
Josh Adams was undrafted. Boom, roasted.
Fair, but he's a running back.
Hey, Riley, who do you pick?
We'll call it even. My running back is Amir Abdullah.
Oh God.
Oh my.
Hate it.
It's a deep dive. I'm not saying
no, it's not. It's a dead dive. He's dead.
He's 25. He is a free agent after this year.
Oh my, deep dive without like a respirator.
Matt, you and I.
Respirator.
Did you say respirator? Oh, that. Oh, Bert. Okay. Who was I talking about?
Abdullah.
Over here.
Matt, you and I talked about before the season. People were calling, very quick to jump to the next Jerick McKinnon. People were saying that's Tevin Coleman. Well, McKinnon was cheap at this point last season. Coleman was not. I believe, Matt, you're the one that said it's more likely to be a guy such as TJ Yeldon or Amir Abdullah.
That's correct.
So it's possible. You said it's possible. Obviously, he hasn't looked very good.
There's a non-zero chance that Amir Abdullah is fantasy relevant next year. I'll say that. Non-zero chance.
There's a small chance, but you know what? It's a deep dive. I probably wouldn't pay a third.
No, I wouldn't.
I wouldn't pay a third.
I don't know if I guess I'd pay a 4th for him, but I'd have to be desperate.
I would pay a 4th if I had, a couple other late round picks and I had one.
Yeah, like if I have like 3 4th round picks, screw it. I'll take Amir.
I'll get one. And that's why I like to get extra 3rds and 4ths on the end, just so you can have some capital to work with. I mean, if he lands in a spot next year where he could contribute, somewhere such as, Houston, Lamar Miller is, whatever. He's just inconsistent. If he gets a chance, even if he's just a passing down back, I'll take it. So we'll see. Hopefully he gets a chance to sign somewhere. He's got to be gone. There's no way they're going to keep him.
No,
worth a shot. Take a shot on Amir Abdullah. He's only 25.
I can't believe he's only 25.
I know. It's felt like he should be 30 because it's been a long wait. But we will see. Matt, let's go back to you, and we'll get the first receiver.
The first receiver that I am going to talk about is Chris Conley.
Ooh.
So I was like, I thought Chris Conley had some good workout measurements. Listen to this right here. 40-yard dash, 4.35, 98th percentile. Speed score, 120.6, 98th percentile. Burst score, 146, 100th percentile. Catch radius, 10.5, 99th percentile. Athlete and a free agent at the end of the year. Do I need to say anything more? I think we covered it.
You're not worried about his opt Achilles?
No, because he's been playing this year and catching touchdowns. Unlike Deontay Foreman. He's playing. He's out there.
I don't hate it. I don't love it. Conley just seems to me like another Stephen Hill, Rashad Perriman kind of guy.
I think his comp from playerprofiler.com was a good one. Robert Meacham.
Oh, now there's a name I hadn't heard in a long time. Meacham was good coming out of Tennessee.
Meacham, Devery Henderson. You know what I mean? I think that Conley can carve out a Tyrell Williams
Saints
role.
picks. Both Saints picks.
I know he can carve out a Tyrell Williams role. He can be a deep burner. I mean, he just turned 26, so I think he can give you 2 or 3 decent years of production, and he'll be higher than. I mean, he's got Tyreek and Sammy in front of him, so I don't foresee him coming back to Kansas City. But if he ends up somewhere like Dallas, or if he ends up somewhere like I don't want to say the Jets, because Robbie Anderson will be the same thing. But if he ends up somewhere where he can get a chance to be a number 2, I think he can put up wide receiver 3 weeks.
Arizona might not be a bad spot for him.
Yeah, that'd be interesting with him and Kirk, and if Larry comes back again, you know what I mean?
Larry plays slot. He's short area stuff. Kirk is kind of the guy you move around, and have Conley be the big body.
Yeah, but I don't really think. I mean, I don't know what JJ Nelson's contract looks like. I'm not really up on that, but I mean, he's not doing anything this year, so
I was just throwing it out there.
Yeah, but I think I've paid a 4th for him already, so I know I can get him for a 4th.
Question is, would you pay a 3rd?
No, I probably wouldn't pay a 3rd, but I'll give a 4th for him, and you can find him on some waiver wire still too.
Okay, and just as a little side nugget, if Conley does leave, watch out for Demarcus Robinson. Loved him coming out of Florida, and he's been decent in his role this year. Good, decent size, really, really good athlete, really quick, does a lot of things well. He's just an idiot off the field. That's why he, slipped in the draft last year.
Hey, Kansas City loves him then because they got another one on the team. So
that's right. All the receivers are crazy. So yeah, good call, Matt. Brett.
I'm gonna go with a receiver coming out last year that I really liked, but a lot of other people didn't. He went in the 6th, showed out in preseason, and got hurt in Deon Cain. I really like Deon Cain for what he is, a deep threat, which people are going to say, listen, T.Y.'s in that offense, T.Y.'s a deep threat, but Cain showed his stuff in the preseason. He outsnapped Chester Rogers in all preseason. He had a 4.43 40-yard dash at the combine. His 3-cone was 6.71, which was faster than Kiki, Gallup, Richie James, Christian Kirk, all those players. I think people, because of his injury, being on IR, being a rookie who was drafted so late in the actual NFL draft, and where I saw him drafted in rookie drafts, I think you could get him on the cheap, and he's an asset that could develop.
I like the call. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a good call. Not even a guy I had on my radar. I think it's a good call. I think there was too many spots last year. He was going in the mid to late 2nd before he tore his ACL, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of spots where people were taking him in the mid to late 2nd. So I'm not sure how many people are going to willing to sell him for too much of a loss. But I think he made good points. My thing is, at that late 2nd cost, I'm kind of hesitant on taking him there.
I don't think it would be a late 2nd. To me, you have to put it in perspective of people are going to start. Fantasy football is what have you done for me lately? And if he hasn't done anything, and people are seeing Ryan Grant and Chester Rogers and T.Y.'s back, and now they have 2 tight ends, and I think people are really going to overlook him. And I think you could get him for a 3rd, and I would personally pay a 3rd for him.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if you can talk about what. I don't know. I agree with you. It's a what's have you done for me lately league, but I mean, an ACL injury is nothing anymore. It's basically just everyone comes back pretty much from ACL injuries, and they're next to nothing anymore. They're just literally just waiting to rehab them.
Oh, I just don't think he had the production beforehand that people are going to think about it.
Well, that's because he hasn't played a down yet.
That's what I'm saying. That's my point. I get where you're coming from.
But he popped in preseason, though. He had some pops in preseason. So I'm just saying you're probably still paying an early 3rd for him.
I would be okay with that, to be honest, especially this year.
I don't know.
I don't hate it. He's not one of my must-buys, but I just think the people who drafted Deon Cain in the late 2nd loved him. And I don't think they're going to give him up for a 3rd. That's my only concern.
That's my thought too. Is like, why am I going to trade him? He's just sitting on my IR spot, my taxi squad, the end of my bench. He's not doing anything. He hasn't hurt me, but I'm going to see what he wants. I'm going to see what he's going to do. So,
and if you look on the flip side, that Deion Kane owner is going to say, well, he's only got to beat out Ryan Grant, Chester Rogers, and Dontrell Inman, who just blew up last week. So, I mean, if you can get him for a third, great. That's a really good dart throw.
I mean, I saw him down in the ADP pretty. I mean, he's high in the ADP because it hasn't refreshed either. And I was thinking to myself, I looked at all the players under it and all the players under him that have been producing, and I'm like, I would much rather have him than half of these guys.
Agreed. I agree.
On potential, and so I don't know. I also was a big fan of him coming out of college, so I might have a little bit of bias there. But.
So it's interesting because I didn't really like his tape. I know he was just kind of a deep threat guy who. That's really all he did. Like, he was good on 9 routes, posts, and stuff like that, but other than that, he wasn't really an all-around receiver. I think that's why he slipped.
I also think look at the QB he was playing with last year.
But that doesn't have anything to do with his ability to run routes and separate over the middle. So I'm just saying, I didn't like Deion Kane. So good spot.
Deion Kane doesn't like you.
Good. Some mutual disrespect. My receiver. I think Bert. I think you actually mentioned his name, but Richie James, very interesting player coming out of MTSU. Production was A+. If he didn't get hurt, he could have set a lot of records. He came out a year early too. I like him.
Did he go undrafted or did he get taken in the 7th?
I believe he was a 7th. I like him in San Francisco. It's not like their depth chart is loaded. I mean,
you know what? I kind of like their young receivers they have there. I'm not gonna lie.
It's really
Richie
interesting.
James. They have Trent Taylor. They have Kendrick Bourne. You know what I mean?
So
if Kendrick Bourne was cheaper, I would like him more. But I think he's been flashing with Garcon out a little bit, and I really wish we would have traded Garcon so we could see more Kendrick Bourne. I'm not gonna lie.
Right. The only roadblock is Trent Taylor. Trent Taylor's not starting on the outside, and neither is Richie James.
No.
One of those two guys is going to play the slot role. And I really think Richie James is better than Trent Taylor. I think he's quicker. I think he's got, more big play ability, big play upside. And the college production. I mean, Taylor was good at Louisiana Tech, but James was elite in college. Did a lot of things. I mean, got tons of snaps at running back and played running back for them in several formations. So I love Richie James. I'd pay a late third if I had the space and if I had the capital. I'd pay a third for Richie James.
Here's my issue with any 49er slot receiver at this point is they're probably 4th on the target at best because Kittle's basically their slot receiver.
Yes, I think once Garoppolo is back healthy, I think that changes a little bit.
Maybe a little bit because Beathard and Kittle obviously have the Iowa connection, so that makes sense. But I just don't know how much I trust their. I just don't know they're going to have the opportunity there. Like, I don't see them getting more than 10% of the targets. I just don't see the opportunity there.
I'm gonna weigh in because I like Richie James. Our friend Jason, Dynasty Debates over there, actually kind of showed me. I didn't like him until we saw where people got drafted, and Jason was like, "Why the hell would I draft Dante Pettis in this round when I can get Richie James a round and a half, 2 rounds later?" And Richie James does a lot of things that Pettis does, and he laid out his production for me and everything, and he kind of opened my eyes to the player that Richie James was and is, and I think that he's a good buy low. I agree with Riley. I would pay a third for him. I think once Garoppolo gets back, he also has that ability to pop one long at like any given time.
I'm not paying a third for Trent. I mean, I'm not paying a third for Richie James. Not happening.
It's just a dart throw, and I mean, I think I'd rather take
I
a
think
shot
you're giving
on.
up. I think you're giving up. I think there's still too much. There's still too much talent to be had, especially in the super flex league. I'm definitely not paying a third for. I'm definitely not paying a third for Richie James there. I'd be hard pressed to pay a fourth. I just don't see the opportunity there, and I even forgot about Dante Pettis. So
See,
I mean,
but there's not a ton of talent in San
you're
Francisco.
not. There's not a ton of talent. You're right. There's not, but I just don't see the opportunity there. And there's already been younger players who have had some instances where they've already shown up. In Pettis caught a touchdown, nice touchdown earlier in the year. Bourne has shown nice rapport with both of the guys there. So
I don't think Bourne's anything more than a role player.
he's a possession receiver, which they don't have there, other than Kittle, and all the other guys are just speed merchants.
But who could break out and has a higher ceiling as that possession receiver?
As a 5'9" possession receiver, I don't see it.
Edelman.
Edelman's taller than 5'9". He's like
Every
6
other
feet
slot
tall.
receiver. Edelman's not. I'll take the under. He's not 6 feet tall.
Wes Welker.
Okay, or all the Patriots players ever.
Yeah, great. Trent Taylor. Okay, perfect.
I mean, I could see him having a Randall Cobb. Yes.
Julian Edelman's 5'10". Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, it's just a dart throw, and I think James is a very good dart throw to stash on the end of your bench for 2019, not this season. Sure, let Kendrick Bourne take snaps and have his time, but James has just got such a higher ceiling.
I agree with you. He may have a higher ceiling, but I don't know if we'll see it. That's all.
Yeah, that's fair. But it's deep dives.
It's a deep dive. Yeah, that's fine. I just don't know I'm willing to pay a third. And
Okay.
I'm not in love with next year's draft class, to be honest with you. I haven't really taken too much of a look at it, but I think there's some good wide receivers coming out next year, but I think it might be wide receiver top heavy, and then we'll see what happens.
The rest
there.
is just ugh. So
yeah. I mean, yeah, then great. You know what I mean? If we're sitting in the third round and you just don't love anyone there, you're sitting in the late third, you know, by all means, then do it. But
I'd probably do it.
that's right. 2 out of 3. Suck it, Matt.
Great. It's you and Bert.
And if it happens, you're going to need a respirator to get yourself back going again.
I'm making T-shirts. Anybody want a respirator T-shirt?
Absolutely not.
I'll give you like $2.
Like a picture.
I'll
of
give you a 25th for it.
Deal.
He's selling insurance. Well, I think that is going to do it for us. This has been another episode of The Deep Dive. You can follow us on Twitter at DynastyBert. You can follow Matt at Fat Mormon. You can follow myself at DTC_Riley B. Hit us up at the pod handle at Deep Dive Pod. Got it. And yeah, let us know if you want us to talk about anything specific, or just listen in for next week's episode for some DFS help from my counterparts from the Respirator and the Fat Mormon.
Changing my team name. It's going to be Dynasty Respirator Bert.
Oh,
I hate it already.
The ever-changing handles, which will be the same as his name.
Oh God!
Can't miss it. You 2 chances to see it on his page.
Even the at symbol's there for both of them. So
even the at symbol is in his name. That's how you know he's a mediocre podcast host. Anyways, hit us up next week.
Your peanut butter and
We're all
jealous.
3 the hosts.
he's a contributor at best.
He's the Kendrick Bourne of the podcast.
Whoa.
Peanut butter and jealous. You're giving Kendrick Bourne too much credit. You're giving me too much credit.
Exactly. You just burned yourself. So, with that being said,
hit us up next week, and good luck in week 9.
Toodles.
Happy Respirator Day.